My child, breathe. Just for a moment, stop scrolling, stop searching, stop looking for something that tells you this moment matters. You didn't find this by accident. You weren't led here by an algorithm. You were brought here by a pull you don't fully understand yet. A pull that has been tugging at the edge of your spirit for weeks, months, maybe longer. I know you're tired. I know because I've been counting the sighs you thought no one heard. I've been collecting the tears you wiped away quickly so no one would ask questions. I've been watching you carry something so heavy that even you don't fully understand its weight. And you've been doing it alone. Or at least, you thought you were alone. But I am closer than you think. Not in the religious way. Not in the vague, poetic way people say when they don't know what else to offer you. I am closer than your next breath. Closer than the ache in your chest. Closer than the voice in your head that keeps telling you that you're falling behind. That you're forgotten, that everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck in place. That voice, that wasn't me. Let's be honest about where you are right now. You're not just tired, you're confused, because you did everything you thought you were supposed to do. You tried to be patient, you tried to be kind, you tried to hold on when everything inside you wanted to let go. You kept showing up. You kept believing even when belief felt like pretending. And what did it get you? More silence, more waiting, more watching other people receive what you've been praying for. More doors closing in your face while you watched doors you never even knocked on swing open for people who didn't even ask. You've been asking me, why? Why them and not you? Why now for them and still waiting for you? Why does their breakthrough look so easy when your obedience feels so costly? I want you to hear this clearly, my child. I never left you, not in the sleepless nights, not in the moments you wanted to delete everything and disappear, not in the conversations where you pretended to be fine because you were tired of explaining why you weren't, not in the moments you whispered into the dark, "If you're real, do something, say something, show me I'm not invisible." I was there. I was there when you felt overlooked. I was there when you felt misunderstood. I was there when people you loved made you feel like you were too much, too emotional, too intense, too different, too difficult to love. I heard every word they didn't say. I saw every expression they tried to hide. I felt every shift in the room when you walked in, and the warmth seemed to disappear. You kept looking for me in the noise, in the answers, in the breakthroughs, in the things changing. And I was waiting for you in the quiet, in the not yet, in the middle of the delay. This season you're in right now, the one that feels like punishment, it's not punishment, it's preparation. But I know you can't see that yet. I know preparation doesn't feel like anything when you're in the middle of it. It just feels like standing still while the world moves on without you. But I need you to understand something deeper. The reason you feel so alone right now isn't because I abandoned you. It's because I'm separating you. I'm pulling you away from things that felt like safety so you can discover that I am your safety. I'm removing voices that felt like guidance so you can learn to hear mine. I'm closing doors that looked like opportunity because what's on the other side of those doors wasn't destiny, it was distraction. You've been asking me to use you, to move you, to put you where you belong. But you've been trying to get there while still carrying things that would have destroyed you at the next level. So I slowed you down. I stopped you. I let you feel stuck, because moving forward with the wrong things attached to you would have cost you more than waiting ever will. I know you don't feel chosen right now. I know you don't feel seen. I know you look at your life and wonder where the evidence is that I love you, that I hear you, that I have a plan for you. But listen to me closely, my beloved. If I showed you everything I'm doing right now, if I pulled back the veil and let you see the battles I'm fighting for you while you sleep, the doors I'm closing to protect you, the people I'm removing because they were never supposed to stay, the traps you're walking past because you can't see them, but I can, you would fall to your knees. Not in fear, in gratitude. You would stop begging for what you don't have and start thanking me for what you've been spared from. There is a reason you're still here. There is a reason you didn't walk away when everything in you wanted to. There is a reason you're still breathing, still believing, still reading these words right now at this exact moment. It's not random. It's not coincidence. It's not luck. It's me. And I am closer than you think. I am in the quiet you've been avoiding. I am in the silence you've been trying to fill with noise. I am in the ache you've been numbing. I am in the questions you've been afraid to ask. I am not hiding from you. You've just been looking for me in the wrong places. You've been looking for me in the answers. I've been waiting for you in the mystery. You've been looking for me in the arrival. I've been waiting for you in the journey. You've been looking for me in what's next. I've been right here in what is. And I haven't moved. Not once. Not ever. So, stay here for a moment. Don't scroll past this. Don't dismiss what's happening in your chest right now. Something is shifting. Something is softening. Something is waking up that you thought had died. Let it. Let me in. Let me speak to the parts of you that have been silent for too long. Because I am closer than you think, and I'm not done with you yet, my beloved. Now I need to tell you something you've carried alone for too long. Something you felt but couldn't name. Something you've suspected but pushed away because acknowledging it would hurt too much. But you're ready now. You're ready to know the truth about why the road has felt so steep, why the room has felt so empty, why the people around you have felt so far away, even when they were sitting right next to you. The distance you felt, it was real. The coldness you sensed in conversations, it was real. The way certain people stopped looking at you the same way, stopped including you the same way, stopped defending you when your name came up in rooms you weren't invited into. That wasn't your insecurity. That wasn't your imagination. That was exposure. And I need you to hear this part clearly, because this is where the wound has been festering. There have been people around you who smiled in your face while carrying something else in their heart. People who celebrated your small wins publicly while privately hoping you wouldn't win bigger. People who called themselves friends but positioned themselves as informants. People who sat at your table, ate your food, laughed at your jokes, and then walked away and repeated things you trusted them with. I saw the way they watched you, the way they measured you, the way they quietly, carefully positioned themselves to make sure you stayed exactly where you were. Not because you deserved it, but because your potential threatened them, because your light exposed something in them they didn't want to see, because your presence in the room reminded them of what they weren't willing to become, and you felt it. You felt the shift before you could prove it. You felt the vibe change before you had evidence. You felt the energy drain from relationships you thought were safe, and it confused you. It made you question yourself. It made you wonder if you were paranoid, too sensitive, too quick to assume the worst. You weren't. You were picking up what your spirit was trying to warn you about. You were sensing what I was showing you in the quiet, but because you couldn't see it with your eyes, because no one confessed, because nothing dramatic happened, you told yourself you were wrong. You weren't wrong. You were protected. Because here's what you didn't see, my child. Here's what they didn't want you to know. While you were questioning yourself, while you were overthinking every interaction, while you were replaying conversations, trying to figure out where things went wrong, I was already working. I was already exposing what was hidden. I was already turning their plans back on themselves. You wanted revenge. You wanted confrontation. You wanted to walk into rooms and demand answers. You wanted to call them out, expose them, make them feel even a fraction of the pain they caused you. And I held you back, not because I was protecting them, because I was protecting you. Revenge would have cost you. Confrontation would have drained you. Walking into those rooms with fire in your eyes would have pulled you back into a battle you were never meant to fight, because the battle was never yours. It was always mine. And I don't lose. I don't forget. I don't let things slide because time passes. I saw every whisper, every exaggeration, every time they twisted your words and made you look like someone you're not. Every time they nodded along with criticism about you instead of defending you. Every time they stayed silent when they could have spoken up. Every time they chose their comfort over your character. I saw it all, and I kept count. Not because I hold grudges, because I hold justice. Because I am the only one who sees the full picture. Because you only saw the surface, the cold greeting, the unanswered text, the invitation that never came, the promotion you deserved that went to someone else, the credit you earned that was given away. You only saw the symptoms. I saw the source. You only felt the rejection. I saw the coordination. You only grieved the loss. I saw the assassination attempt on your destiny. Not with fire from heaven. Not with lightning bolts. Not with dramatic judgment that everyone could see. I stopped it the way I always stop what's meant to destroy my children. I moved people. I closed doors you thought you wanted open. I created distance you didn't understand. I let relationships fade even when you wanted to fight for them. I let silence fall even when you wanted to scream. And you thought it was rejection. It was rescue. Those people you've been mourning, the ones who left without explanation, the ones who cooled off without conversation, the ones who chose sides without hearing your side, they weren't taken from you. They were removed from you. There's a difference. Taking implies I needed something from them. Removing implies I needed something from you. Free from the exhaustion of performing. Free from the weight of proving yourself. Free from the drain of relationships that took and took and took while giving nothing back. Free from the confusion of loving people who didn't even like you. I needed you empty so I could fill you. I needed you alone so you could find me. I needed you quiet so you could finally hear what your own voice sounds like without the echo of everyone else's opinions. You've been asking me why certain doors closed. Look closer. Behind every closed door was a person who couldn't go where you're going. Behind every silence was a voice that would have talked you out of your destiny. Behind every loss was a weight you would have carried into a season where you needed to run. I didn't reject you. I repositioned you. And the ones who plotted against you in the dark, the ones who smiled while aiming, the ones who used your vulnerability as ammunition and your trust as weakness, and you're moving. They're still scheming in the same circles, having the same conversations, playing the same games. And you're rising, not because you're better than them, not because you're more worthy than them, but because you kept turning to me when you wanted to turn on them, because you kept choosing softness when you wanted to choose hardness, because you kept trusting me with your justice instead of taking it into your own hands. And that changes everything, not just for you, for your bloodline, for your future. For every person who will one day look at your life and wonder how you survived what tried to kill you. You didn't just survive, you were held through every betrayal, through every whisper, through every moment you felt the floor disappear beneath you. I was the ground you couldn't feel. I was the arms you couldn't see. I was the voice you couldn't hear telling you to stay, to wait, to trust, to breathe. And you did. You're still here, still soft, still kind, still believing, even after everything. Do you understand how rare that is? Do you understand what that does in the spiritual realm? Do you understand why the enemy has fought so hard to take you out? Because you carry something the world needs. Because you carry something that darkness fears. Because you carry something that doesn't make sense in a world that tells you to harden, to retaliate, to become what hurt you. You stayed you, and I saw it. I saw every time you chose grace when you wanted to choose vengeance. I saw every time you stayed quiet when you wanted to scream. I saw every time you walked away when you wanted to destroy. And I smiled, because that wasn't you trying harder. That was me living through you. That was proof that you've been mine all along. So stop looking back at what fell apart. Stop analyzing what they meant. Stop trying to figure out where you went wrong. You didn't go wrong. You went through. The same people who counted you out are about to watch you walk into things they can't follow. The same voices that whispered against you are about to be silenced by the weight of what I'm about to do in your life. Not because you fought back, because you trusted me. And I've never failed anyone who trusted me. Not once, not ever. Not you. My child. Come closer. Not physically. You're already here. I mean in your spirit. Let down the last wall. The one you built after the betrayals. The one you constructed after the whispers. The one you fortified after every door closed and every person walked away. I know it's there. I know you think it's protecting you, but it's also keeping you from feeling the full weight of what I'm about to tell you. You've been seeing the last season as loss. I need you to see it as a fortress. Every door that closed. That was me sealing an exit you would have tried to escape through too soon. Every person who walked away, that was me removing a weight you would have carried into a battle you were never meant to fight. Every silence that felt like abandonment, that was me pulling back the noise so you could finally hear your own heartbeat and recognize it sounds like mine. You've been asking why the delay lasted so long. You've been asking why the healing took so much time. You've been asking why you had to sit still while everyone else seemed to move forward, get promoted, find love, build families, build platforms, build lives that looked like everything you begged me for. I need you to understand something that will change everything. The delay wasn't denial. The wait wasn't punishment. The isolation wasn't rejection. It was preparation for a weight you couldn't have carried a year ago. It was strengthening for a battle you couldn't have survived 6 months ago. It was purification for a blessing that would have corrupted you if you received it before you were ready. You keep looking at what you lost. I need you to see what you would have lost if you'd gotten what you wanted when you wanted it. There were promotions you begged for that would have destroyed you. There were relationships you cried over that would have drained the very life I'm trying to build in you. There were platforms you envied that would have exposed you to battles you weren't equipped to fight. There were doors you pounded on that would have led to rooms where your destiny would have been assassinated. And I stood in front of every single one, not as a gatekeeper keeping you out, as a father protecting you from what you couldn't see. You saw the opportunity. I saw the trap disguised as an opportunity. You saw the relationship. I saw the spirit behind the smile. You saw the promotion. I saw the pressure that would have broken you. You saw the open door. I saw the cliff on the other side. So I delayed you. I slowed you down. I let you wait until your character caught up to your calling. I let you sit until your foundation could hold the weight of what I'm building. I let you feel forgotten so you would stop depending on people remembering you and start depending on me knowing you. This isolation you've been fighting, it was never emptiness. In the dark, in the quiet, in the place where no one could see you, I was forming something. Not just in your life, but in you. Not just around you, but within you. I was growing strength you don't even recognize yet. I was developing patience that's about to confuse everyone who watches you. I was building authority that doesn't need to announce itself, because it simply exists in the room when you walk in. You can't rush a womb. You can't hurry formation. You can't microwave maturity. And that's what this season has been. Maturity. Not punishment. Not delay for the sake of delay. But the slow, invisible, unglamorous work of making you ready. Think about what you're carrying right now that you didn't carry 3 years ago. Think about what doesn't offend you anymore that would have destroyed you before. Think about what doesn't tempt you anymore that used to control you. Think about what doesn't frighten you anymore that used to paralyze you. Think about the things you used to chase that now feel empty. Think about the people you used to need that now feel like noise. That's not coincidence. That's construction. I've been rebuilding you from the inside out while no one was watching, while you were alone, while you were overlooked, while you were underestimated, while you were forgotten. That was the assignment. Not to punish you, to position you. Because what I'm about to put in your hands requires hands that won't drop it. What I'm about to trust you with requires a heart that won't trade it for temporary validation. What I'm about to open before you requires eyes that can see past the surface into the deep. And you couldn't see like that before. You couldn't carry like that before. You couldn't lead like that before. But now something has shifted. Now something has settled. Now something in you has stopped fighting the quiet and started drinking from it. Do you feel it? That stillness that used to feel like loneliness, but now feels like rest? That silence that used to feel like rejection, but now feels like cover? That space that used to feel empty, but now feels like room to breathe? That's the evidence. That's the proof that the work is almost done. That's the sign that the waiting season is turning into the walking season. You're not the same person who started this journey. You're not the same person who cried in the dark, who begged for change, who demanded answers, who couldn't understand why I wasn't moving faster. You're not the same person who needed validation from people who couldn't give it. You're not the same person who panicked when doors closed. You're not the same person who chased explanations instead of trusting the process. And because you've changed, everything is about to change. The same people who overlooked you are about to need something only you carry. The same doors that stayed closed are about to swing open without you knocking. The same places that rejected you are about to prepare tables for you. The same voices that whispered against you are about to fall silent in your presence. Not because you fought for it, because you waited for it, because you trusted me in the dark, because you let me work while no one was watching. That's the secret no one tells you about the waiting season. It's not just about getting what you want. It's about becoming who you need to be to hold what you want without losing yourself in it. And you're there. You're closer than you realize. The isolation is lifting. The heaviness is breaking. The confusion is clearing. The fog that made everything look gray and hopeless is burning off in the warmth of what I'm about to release. Don't panic in the final moments. Don't undo the work by grabbing for what I'm about to give freely. Stay low, stay quiet, stay trusting, because what's coming requires nothing from you but openness. And you're finally open, finally ready, finally positioned. Now watch what I do, my beloved. Something shifted while you were sleeping, while you were resting in the quiet, while you were learning to breathe again, while you were finally stopped fighting the process and simply existing in my presence. The atmosphere changed. The spiritual pressure shifted. The walls that surrounded you began to develop cracks you haven't even noticed yet. But you will. Very soon. I know you've been living in survival mode for so long that hope feels risky. I know you've been disappointed so many times that anticipation feels like setting yourself up for failure. I know you've learned to keep your expectations low so the letdown doesn't destroy you. But I need you to unfist your heart for a moment. I need you to let yourself feel what's coming, because what I'm about to do in your life isn't just a door opening. It isn't just a breakthrough. It isn't just an answer to prayer. It's a complete reversal of everything the enemy tried to use to destroy you. They thought you would never rise. They thought the silence broke you. They thought the waiting finished you. They thought the betrayal crushed something in you that could never be repaired. They counted you out. They closed the book on your story. They moved on, convinced you would never be a threat, never be relevant, never be mentioned in the rooms they care about again. But I was never finished. I was just getting started. You see, while they were celebrating your silence, I was building your authority. While they were enjoying your absence, I was preparing your return. While they assumed the isolation meant you were done, I was using the isolation to make you dangerous in ways they can't comprehend. And now, the shift is here. Not coming, not soon, not eventually. Now. I'm talking about days, not years. Weeks, not decades. Moments, not eras. The suddenlies are about to start happening in your life again. The kind of suddenlies that make people gasp. The kind of suddenlies that make your enemies question everything they thought they knew. The kind of suddenlies that even you won't be able to explain away as luck or coincidence or timing. I'm about to move in ways that leave no doubt about who is fighting for you. That opportunity you stopped believing would come, it's closer than you think. That relationship you mourned as lost forever, I'm redeeming it in a way you never expected. That platform you watched someone else step into while you stood on the sidelines, there's a platform with your name on it that no one saw coming. That financial pressure that's been suffocating you, not because you finally figured out the right strategy, not because you networked with the right people, not because you performed well enough to earn my favor, but because the season of preparation is over and the season of manifestation has begun. Do you feel it? That restlessness that's been building in your spirit? That's not anxiety. That's not impatience. That's the sound of your destiny waking up. That's the feeling of things shifting in the spirit before they shift in the natural. That's the rumble before the breakthrough. You've been asking me for signs. This is the sign. The fact that you're still here, the fact that you didn't give up, the fact that you're reading these words and something in your chest is burning instead of freezing. That's not random. That's the fire I placed in you finally being fanned into flame. And the world is about to feel it. Not just see it, feel it. Because when I elevate you, it won't be subtle. When I restore you, it won't be quiet. When I vindicate you, it won't be in a corner where no one notices. I'm about to do something so undeniable that even the people who doubted you will have to admit that I was with you all along. They didn't realize you were a seed. And seeds don't stay in the ground forever. They break through. They push past the dirt. They reach toward the light. And eventually, they produce fruit that feeds generations. That's you. That's what this has always been about. Not just getting you through, not just saving you, not just keeping you alive, but positioning you to be a source, a provider, a voice, a refuge for others who are going through what you've already survived. The shift isn't just for you, it's through you, to everyone who's watching, to everyone who's been praying for you, to everyone who needs to see that I'm still in the business of resurrection, to everyone who needs proof that the waiting season isn't the end of the story. You're about to be that proof. You're about to be that testimony. You're about to be the answer to someone else's prayer simply by walking in what I've prepared for you. So stop looking at what was. Stop analyzing the closed doors as if they were rejections instead of redirections. Look forward. Look up. Look at what I'm doing right now in this very moment while you're reading these words. I'm aligning things you don't see. I'm moving people you haven't met. I'm opening doors that haven't been built yet. I'm releasing provision from sources you never considered. And it's all going to converge at the exact right time, in the exact right way, for the exact right purpose. The same people who said you were finished are about to say you're lucky. They're about to call it timing. They're about to call it connections. They're about to call it anything except what it really is. But you'll know it was me. You'll know it was the waiting. You'll know it was the isolation. You'll know it was the nights I held you when no one else knew you were crying. You'll know it was the mornings I woke you up even when you wished you hadn't woken up at all. You'll know it was the strength I built in you when you thought you were breaking. And you'll walk differently, not arrogant, not proud, not looking down on anyone, but with a quiet confidence that can only come from someone who's been through the fire and came out holding gold. That's you. That's who you've become. That's who you've always been. I was just waiting for you to see it. Now you're about to. The shift is here. Can you feel it? Breathe it in. This is your moment. My child, now comes what you've been afraid to hope for. The restoration. Not just the breakthrough. Not just the shift. Not just the doors opening. But the deep, soul-level restoration that goes beyond circumstances and heals the places in you that broke while you were waiting. I know you've been carrying wounds that no one sees. Wounds that became so familiar you stopped calling them wounds and started calling them just who you are. The vigilance, the hyper-awareness, the constant scanning for danger, the inability to relax, because every time you relaxed before, something fell apart. That's been your survival mechanism, but survival isn't living. And I didn't bring you this far to simply survive. I brought you here to thrive, to rest, to breathe, to finally lay down the armor you've been wearing for so long it started to feel like skin. The restoration I'm bringing isn't just about what you have. It's about who you are. It's about taking the broken pieces of your heart, the ones you've been carefully holding together with sheer willpower, and fusing them back together in a way that makes you stronger than before, but softer. Stronger, but softer. That's the paradox of genuine restoration. You'll be stronger because you survived, but softer because you were held. You'll be wiser because you learned, but gentler because you were loved through it. You'll be more careful about who you trust, but more open to the ones I send, because you'll recognize my signature on them. This is the season where I return to you what was stolen. Not just financially, not just relationally, not just opportunistically, but emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. The joy that got stolen by the waiting, I'm returning it. The peace that got stolen by the uncertainty, I'm returning it. The confidence that got stolen by the rejection, I'm returning it. The hope that got stolen by the disappointment, I'm returning it. And I'm returning it in ways that feel like overflow. Not just enough, more than enough. Not just survival, abundance. Not just getting by, getting ahead. You've been living so lean for so long that abundance might feel uncomfortable at first. You might not know what to do with peace that isn't temporary. You might not know how to sit in joy that isn't about to be ripped away. You might not know how to trust goodness that doesn't have fine print. But you'll learn. You'll learn to receive. You'll learn to rest. You'll learn to enjoy without waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because the other shoe isn't coming. The cycle is broken. The pattern is finished. The curse of constant crisis is ending right now, in this moment, as you read these words. I'm not just changing your circumstances. I'm changing your spiritual atmosphere. I'm changing what you attract. I'm changing what you tolerate. I'm changing what feels normal to you. For so long, chaos felt normal. Drama felt normal. Scrambling felt normal. Surviving felt normal. But now peace is about to feel normal. Now provision is about to feel normal. Now protection is about to feel normal. Now favor is about to feel normal. Not because the world got safer, but because you got anchored. Because you learned to live from a place of rest instead of a place of striving. Because you finally understood that I am your source, not just your emergency contact. And that understanding changes everything. It changes how you make decisions. It changes how you handle setbacks. It changes how you treat people who hurt you. It changes how you move through rooms and how you sleep at night and how you wake up in the morning. You're about to become someone who doesn't panic. Do you understand how rare that is? In a world that's constantly panicking, constantly reacting, constantly spiraling, you're about to be the one who stays steady. The one who speaks peace into storms. The one who walks through chaos, carrying calm. That's what the isolation produced in you. That's what the waiting built in you. That's what the fire forged in you. And now that calm is about to become your greatest asset. Not just for your own survival, but for everyone I place in your path. People are going to be drawn to the peace you carry. They're going to want what you have without even understanding what it is. They're going to ask how you stay so steady when everything around you is shaking, and you'll tell them. You'll tell them about the night seasons. You'll tell them about the silence. You'll tell them about the closed doors and the walked away friends and the prayers that felt like they hit the ceiling and bounced back unanswered. not with religious words, not with memorized scripts, but with the kind of testimony that can only come from someone who lived through it and came out still believing. That's your story now. Not the victim story, not the survivor story, but the overcomer story, the restored story, the story that makes people lean in and say, "Tell me more." And as you tell it, something will happen. You'll heal even more. Because every time you testify, restoration deepens. Every time you share what I've done, the roots go deeper. Every time you open your mouth to declare my goodness, the enemy loses another inch of ground he thought he'd claimed permanently. This is your season of testimony, not just your season of breakthrough, your season of becoming the breakthrough for someone else. I'm positioning you as a resting place, a safe harbor, a source of wisdom and peace and perspective for people who are where you used to be. And in helping them, you'll find even more healing for yourself. In giving away what you've learned, you'll discover you have more than you realized. That's how my kingdom works. The more you pour out, the more I pour in. The more you give away, the more you have to give. The more you become a channel of blessing, the more blessed you become. So receive this restoration fully. Don't hold back because you're afraid it won't last. Don't protect yourself by staying guarded. Don't keep one foot out the door waiting for the next disaster. The disaster season is over. The restoration season is here. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself enjoy it. Let yourself believe that this time it's real. Because it is. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm closer than you think. And I'm just getting started with you. We've walked far together in these moments. From the exhaustion where this began to the restoration where you now stand. But I need you to hear this final truth with your whole heart. Not just your mind, not just your emotions, but with the deepest part of you, the part that knows me without needing proof, that trusts me without needing explanations, that rests in me without needing guarantees. This is the moment of sealing. Not sealing as in closing, sealing as in securing, as in marking you as mine in a way that nothing in the universe can dispute, as in locking into place everything we've built together, so that when the next storm comes, and it will come because you're still on earth, you won't be moved. You'll be anchored. You'll be established, not because you're strong enough, but because you finally know, deep in your bones, that I am with you. Not just near you, not just for you, but with you, in you, moving through you, breathing through you, loving through you. This is what the entire journey was always about. Not the blessings, not the breakthrough, not the vindication, not the restoration. Those were never the destination. They were signposts pointing to the destination. And the destination has always been this: intimacy with me, knowing me, trusting me, resting in me. Everything else was just the journey home. And now you're home. Not in heaven, not yet, but home in your spirit, home in your identity, home in the unshakable knowledge that you are mine and I am yours, and nothing in all of creation can separate you from that truth. Do you feel it? That settling in your chest? That quiet confidence that wasn't there before? That's not just relief. That's not just closure. That's the Holy Spirit taking up permanent residence in a way that even you can't deny. That's the evidence that the work is complete. That's the seal I promised you from before the foundation of the world. You've spent so long searching for safety, for belonging, for someone to see you and stay, for a place where you could stop performing and simply exist. You've been searching for me, And I've been here the whole time, closer than your breath, closer than your heartbeat, closer than your own thoughts, waiting for you to stop looking everywhere else and realize that the home you've been searching for has always been within you, because I've always been within you. This is the final truth I need you to carry forward. You are never alone, not in the crowded rooms where no one sees you, not in the empty houses where silence echoes, not in the hard conversations where you're misunderstood, not in the moments of temptation where no one would know, not in the battles where you can't tell anyone what you're fighting, not in the victories where you want to celebrate but don't know who to call. Never alone. I am there. I have always been there. I will always be there. This isn't a promise for the faithful moments. This is a promise for every moment. The ugly moments, the weak moments, the moments you're ashamed of, the moments you'd rather forget, the moments you hope no one ever finds out about. I'm there, not as an accuser, not as a judge waiting for you to fail, but as a father, as a friend, as the only one who knows every part of you and never turns away. You've been waiting your whole life for someone to love you like that. Someone already does. It's me. And now that you know, really know, everything changes, not because the world changes, but because you change, because you stop deriving your worth from what the world says about you and start deriving it from what I say about you. And what I say about you is this: you are chosen, you are beloved, you are worthy, you are enough, you are mine. Not because you earned it, not because you performed well enough, not because you finally got your life together, but because I chose you, before you chose me, before you knew enough to choose me. Before you were even formed, I knew you, and I chose you. That's your identity now. Not your failures, not your fears, not your regrets, not your trauma, not your mistakes, not your questions, not your doubts. My choice, my love, my child. Walk forward without the weight you've been carrying. Walk forward without the suspicion that it's all about to fall apart. Walk forward without the hypervigilance that's been exhausting you for years. Walk forward light. Walk forward free. Walk forward loved. And as you walk, remember this moment. Remember how it felt to finally let go. Remember how it felt to finally trust. Remember how it felt to finally rest. When the enemy tries to convince you that nothing has changed, come back here. Come back to these words. Come back to this feeling. Come back to the memory of me speaking directly to you, calling you by name, telling you the truth about who you are, because you'll need to remember. Not because I'll leave you, but because you'll forget, because life gets loud, because pressure returns, because the world is very good at making you question what you know to be true. But now you'll have an anchor. Now you'll have a place to return to when the storms rage and the waves rise and everything around you tells you to panic. You'll come back here, and you'll remember, and you'll be still, and you'll know that I am God. Not just God somewhere in the universe, but God with you, God for you, God in you, God holding you, God who never let go, even when you couldn't feel his hands. This is your moment of release. Release the need to understand everything. Release the need to control everything. Release the need to figure out the future. Release the need to protect yourself from pain. Release the need to perform for love. Release the need to earn what's already yours. Just release and rest and trust and let yourself be held. Because you are held. You have always been held. You will always be held. Nothing can change that. Nothing can undo that. Nothing can separate you from my love. Not death, not life, not angels, not demons, not the present, not the future, not any power, not height, not depth, not anything in all creation. Nothing. You are mine, and I am yours, and this is only the beginning. Go now. Walk forward. Live from this place. Love from this place. Give from this place. Risk from this place. Dream from this place. Build from this place. And know, with every step, that I am closer than your next breath, closer than your next thought, closer than your next heartbeat. Always, forever, without end, my beloved child. Go in peace.